This is Papa Smurf. You're listening to Our Lifestyle, the podcast, with ODB and the Mayor.
Yo, it's ODB, Our Lifestyle Podcast, and we want to remind you that Bayou Showdown is going down later this year in Slidell, Louisiana at the Harbor Center. That's 100 Harbor Center Boulevard, again in Slidell, Louisiana. Bayou Showdown is November 20th and 21st. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, so get on out and support the scene, including Custom Cars Show Productions in conjunction with Mr. Sean Randall. Bayou Showdown, November 20th and 21st, Slidell, Louisiana. Check that hashtag, Bayou Showdown, or Facebook, Bayou Showdown, for more information. Yo, it's Our Lifestyle Podcast, also known as OLP. You heard at the top. I want to give a huge shout out to Bayou Showdown. That is going down this year, Slidell, Louisiana. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving. Get out there on Facebook, type in Bayou Showdown. You recently heard from Sean Randall. The show continues to grow year over year. Good mix of vehicles. Bayou Showdown coming this November, Slidell, Louisiana. Now, Biggity Mike the Mayor, he's out gallivanting around, so I think I picked up the big homie Riggedy Ruben in the house. What you doing, R.A. Ruben?
Hey, not much, Jay. It's been a minute or two since I've been on here. Thanks for the invite to have me back on here.
Yeah, Mike kept trying to say, man, no more guest hosts. They're taking my role. And I said, no way, man. I said, we need more of it. People are getting sick and tired of our banter.
Yeah, man. Again, man, thank you for having me back on it. Like I said, it's been a minute.
Yeah, most definitely. I know the last episode, Mike and I kind of did that quick intro because we had that long story and so much great just audio and stories and awesomeness from Rob Rodell. I really didn't get a chance to really talk a lot about. I didn't make it to Relaxin in the Northwest, the Awakening. We, of course, had our foot soldiers out there sending us content. We appreciate, Craig. We also certainly appreciate Matt Weathers. But, Ruben, you know how it goes sometimes. Like, I had planned to go to that show, and everything was kind of lined up, but just with some things at work and some shifts in, we had concert tickets from a year ago. Because of COVID, it had gotten pushed. So, kind of juggling the family stuff. You know how that goes.
Right. Well, Chris Burns and I were talking about driving out there, and we talked about driving, we talked about flying, but, at the end of the day, we just couldn't make it happen. So we didn't go. And again, my life, everything is just so, last minute. And, same with him. We just couldn't make it happen. But from everything I saw on social media and talking to people, man, what a show.
That's what I saw. I mean, great photos. Uncle Cliffy had out the yellow Toyota. And I know Jason, am I saying it right, Setterberg? He was one of the fallen soldiers in, I believe it's a Relaxed Atmosphere. His homies had brought out the big rig. They also brought out their rigs to kind of pay tribute to the homie.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool, bringing that out and, paying respect to him, a fallen brother of mine. But yeah, that yellow Toyota, man, that thing is pretty sick.
Yeah, it really is. And the love that Airhead Nation, all the followers out there showed is definitely didn't go unnoticed. It was cool to have Matt and Craig Braid on site up there, always looking out, giving me a call, saying, yo, this is what's going down. Craig was headed there, and, dude, he's been east to west, north to south. Just love his hustle, and just a good dude. I see him. I always joke about this. I see Craig Braid. He lives in, up in the Pacific Northwest. I see him more than people that live 15 minutes from me. It's hard to believe, man, but it's true. Appreciate that, dude.
Yep. Well, you know what? We can't have this podcast and talk about that show without another brother of ours, Ron Perkins. What what luck, you know?
Yeah, Ron, I was going to try to link up with him this week. We'll probably give it another week. And to your point, many of you saw, if you follow Ron Perkins, a.k.a. Hank Norris, on Facebook, you will know that he had some hiccups along the way after Camp and Drag. Of course, Bill and those guys, they had an amazing show up there. Got to try to get him on. There's just so much going on that maybe talk about it. But when you think about, the challenge that he had kind of going from there all the way across the country, hiccups along the way. I'm just, as one of his brothers, you just want him to kind of get back on his feet and get going, because logistically it seems like, hey, it's an easy feat. Go to 30 shows, point the GPS here, there, and biggity boom, you're good. But easier said than done, right, Ruben?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I've been in those situations where you're a long way from home and you start having issues, and and you start praying. And let me tell you, man, it's that feeling, that sick feeling you get in your stomach, and you start getting check engine lights and stuff ain't working right, and man, dude, it's not a good feeling, like I said. And I was texting him and I was talking to him, and the last time I had talked to him, it kind of seemed like he had stuff figured out, but after seeing the other posts and stuff that he had, with stuff going on, it was like, I'm just glad that we have the people out there in our scene that, I'm just going to say friends. I'm not even going to say people that, open their doors to people in need. I think that's just one thing about our scene and the people that are in it, that, we may not see each other on a daily or weekly, but, when someone's in need, the type of people that we have, the type of friends that we are, people open their doors of their homes, and with open arms.
Real talk, man. And it's 100% true. And there's a lot of good folks out there that'll, if they can get to you. I mean, that was one of the challenge where he was at in Nebraska. I mean, there wasn't a mini trucker for, I mean, you would think, mini truckers every state and all that, but man, you get out there in the middle of nowhere, it becomes tough, right? And to your point, it's like that feeling of, hey, I'm broke down. Okay, well, reach out on social media. You got no one. When we, Vic and I, when we had our tire challenges and we were in the Panhandle, we were kind of in a no man's land area. I mean, there was exits and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but we were still an hour from someone coming to help us. So it was like, hey, there's someone there. But yeah, what I would ask is, if you can, show Ron some love. If you know Ron or you want to get out there and help him out, HAMMERD, weekendwear.com. You can click the link in the Instagram bio. Of course, if you search Hammered Weekend Wear on Facebook, you're going to hit many of his shares, and there's typically the link right there. But you've got typically the recent stuff that's going to ship as soon as it comes in, and then you'll have plenty of other options, including T-shirts and whatnot. But show Ron some love. HammeredWeekendWear.com. Now, Ruben, on this episode, we're going to kind of see how it pans out. Now, we've got I think 249 if everything works out, the next one, and then 250, the milestone. Those, again, if all the stars align, everything is going to be really good there. I've been working on those for a while. I mean, one of them I kind of been working on, believe it or not, like a year, of the idea, the concept. It's going to tie right into an awesome date. It's going to be a dual guest, so that's going to be cool. So we'll share that probably as we get closer to the end of next week. On this episode, we do have Diggity Darrell Poe, so down with Darrell. He's going to come on, talk a little bit about Down for Dennis. We've mentioned the dates. That's Princeton, West Virginia. Ruben, I'm going to try to link up. It looks like I'll be able to link up with Matt Weathers. Dude, the homie from the Pacific Northwest, because he was on site, boots on the ground up at Relaxin in the Northwest, The Awakening.
Wow, that's awesome. I mean, hell of a guy, and I gotta admit, some of the stuff that he posts both on Instagram and Facebook, man, has me rolling, has me and both Chris Burns rolling on a daily, Dude. But that's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's another one. Matt Weathers. It's PIG_RIG67. The cool thing about him is, chilled with them 2 years ago up at Relaxin, but of course he even drove down. I mean, he's been all over the country, but he's been at Slamfest in his driver. It's not like he's flying in. Another guy that's not scared to drive across the country. I mean, he'll even run through deer if he has to get to a damn show. Guy's crazy, but we'll get a chance to link up with him. And we may, if everything goes well, like I had to postpone some audio from last week. There's a title guest that hopefully we'll get it for this episode. It'll tie in. Some of you guys know this awesome kind of OG in the scene. And if not, then we'll work that in. It might be like a 251. We'll see how that goes. But, I mean, we got a jam-packed episode, and I got to thank Orion and Buddy at Graphics Mafia. It's GRAPHIX Mafia.com. They're, of course, on TikTok, YouTube. No, they're on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, I know for sure. The TikTok videos, they're on the rise. But Buddy and Ryan will take care of you if you need stickers, vinyl wraps. I see that there's more people branching out using them for their print. And Ruben, who doesn't love stickers from Graphics Mafia, man?
Oh, everybody loves stickers from Graphics Mafia. Are you kidding?
Yeah, they're killing it, so they're good people. But big ups to Buddy and Ryan. Now, let's transition, Ruben, into one of my favorite topics, the scene updates. And one thing that I wanted to kind of point out was, from a digital standpoint, I know Street Trucks, man, they have done just a really good job. Ruben, you and I have been reading this magazine for 20-plus years, and Street Trucks, their website, streettrucksmag.com, it's cool because, you know what they've been doing? They've really been embracing the digital experience, that digital content, and they're updating the website usually daily, at least Monday through Friday. And we had Heath Moore on before, and their recent cover, Pumpkin, that is now up on streettrucksmag.com. And then also, I saw one of the mini truck related posts that they did, Ruben, and someone said, hey, what issue was that in? It was in the special edition issue that they had launched, I think almost maybe 2 years ago. But the cool thing is, even though that was special edition on newsstands only, they have taken the time to upload that content to the website. So I think it's a good thing for the readers and just, enthusiasts out there.
No, that's awesome. Where someone can go back and actually look at the stuff, digitally. Oh,
yeah. And then, in addition, some of you this weekend will be at Carlisle. If you can't, I had an opportunity to make it up, and just with stuff going on, I can't make it. Street Trucks is going to be up there, and they're going to be doing the live stream. Now, typically, that's going to air on Sunday, so Facebook, YouTube, keep it simple. But, Ruben, if you're like me, man, you love to watch YouTube here and there, right?
Oh, I love YouTube. I don't even watch TV anymore. It's just solely YouTube.
I know. Now, Mike was telling me about some other tube channel he watches, and I was like, I accidentally went to it one day, and I was like, man, I don't watch that kind of stuff. Like, I try not to talk about that kind of stuff on here. And I was like, no, Mike, I stick to YouTube. I mean, that's all I know.
Oh, Mike's going to get in trouble one of these days talking about that stuff out in public like that. I don't know what the hell he's doing,
Dude, I told him, I was like, bro, you're a post office guy. Like, you can't be, like,
I know,
around talking about, like, grand malls and stuff. I mean, dude, that's some weird stuff.
Yeah, dude, that I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with being, working for the government. I mean, maybe that's man. What they, I don't know.
Well, I think it's like he's delivering all these, Adam Sandler fans, Nudie Magazine Day. Like, I think he's getting jealous of all these magazines he's delivering. I mean, we talk about Prince on the rise. I mean, who doesn't love Nudie Magazine Day,
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe some of this mail's going missing or something. Maybe
yeah. I mean, dude, that could be part of the problem. I mean, I've looked at some of these numbers, and I think, like, in Naples, they're talking about magazines are going missing all the time. So I don't know. Maybe there's a correlation.
Maybe, what if they, like, search his house and all this stuff comes up or something? Hey, I'm just saying.
All right,
hey.
So Dizzy from the Spark Show or someone come up with a good name. We know there was. I don't want to use that. There was the guy called the Una, and then I don't want to say the last word. Everything we record, people are, they're kind of listening in. But if come up with a good name. Like if Mike was really the guy, the Nudie Magazine stealer for all of Naples, like what would that kind of, how like Wu-Tang had their names, like Ghostface Killah, Maximilian, they all had their kind of like the mafioso names and the different ones, right? But what would Mike's name be if he was like in that underground world,
Oh, dude, you know what you just did, right? Some of these listeners are like really good at Photoshop. Oh shit! I said too much. Fuck.
Well,
dude, you gotta erase that.
I'll
dude,
edit that
erase that. Okay,
Dude,
all right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Don't worry. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I deleted it. Okay,
cool.
we're good.
All right. Sweet. Thank you.
We'll make sure it doesn't get out. But when Mike, straight up, when Dizzy, when you hear this, dude, from the Spark Show, you and Adam Tripp, go in the Airhead Nation group and get the meme going. Let's figure out what that name is. I mean, because we'll come up with it. So, but all that's been erased, so we're good. It's like a Men in Black deal.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Now, the other cool thing is with the print side, All Time Low magazine, I know Damien and some of the team, they've been hinting that this new issue's coming, and I'm excited about it. The one thing I would mention to everyone is atlmagazine.com. You can order the issues. The biggest challenge with the homegrown kind of for us, by us movement is, it's not easy to start a magazine like this. So you go out there, atlmagazine.com, you can order an issue. It's $20, right? So you're like, man, that's, you might feel it's a little steep, but you get such a good quality and you're kind of contributing to the scene. All of the issues have sold out except for 28. Of course, it's got Sketchy, his family, some of their builds underneath their umbrella. It's on there. But atlmagazine.com, that's coming. And then it looks like, Ruben, that Street Trucks, we've been doing the Our Lifestyle column for 2 years now as of September issue, I believe it is. So it looks like they're going to let us expand a little bit and bring some more content. So we're kind of working on, highlighting great people on the scene.
That's awesome. And, it gives us it gives you a chance to, maybe bring up some other names in there,
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. There's a lot of good folks out there, and I think sometimes, certain people, they get the lion's share and this and that, but that's going to allow us, we're tapped in at All Time Low doing the ODB Live and Uncut. Street Trucks affords us that opportunity to write our content there, but of course we got the podcast and things like that, and we there's a lot of ladies out there and there's a lot of dudes that are just doing the damn thing, so we got to keep the pedal stomped.
Right on, dude. Right on.
Now, talking about just some of the stuff I've seen like on Facebook, this was kind of cool. A couple things. Craig Morrow, Morrow, he's the guy that owns the Bicycle Heaven where I went. And if you follow him on Facebook, even personally, other than Bicycle Heaven, he posts a lot of cool stuff. And he had found, he said, what a great BMX find today for Bicycle Heaven Museum, and maybe one of the best finds of the year. I won't read the whole thing. It's real long. He says he got a call yesterday, some photos. He offered like $800, and it ended up being this really rare bike. Kind of goes on to say that it could be worth like thousands of dollars. It was like a really rare model. And when I first looked at it, it looked like a mongoose, but apparently it was like a super rare frame and things like that, like number 86 stamped in. And I know, Ruben, you got a bike that you said I can just have. I just got to pay the shipping, right?
Yeah, sure. Let me, give me an address. I'll ship it right over to you.
Thanks.
No, I got a PK Ripper with landing gear forks that I believe the date's back like early 80s, like 1988, 1981. It's like an original. And it's actually up in the rafter of my parents' house. And I'd like to put it all back together with like period, date, correct parts and stuff. But again, it's a project. It's one of these days when I get to it. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever get rid of that thing, to be honest with you.
Well, I might be able to change your mind because I got a buddy. He's like an Arabian prince, dude. This guy's got a lot of money, okay? What he's willing to do is he'll send you like a check for like $5,000, dude, okay?
Really?
All you got to do is if you cash it and you can just send the rest back like in cash, like maybe like a FedEx box,
really?
He's willing to buy it for like $1,000. So, you could just
really?
Keep some of the money,
Yeah, sure. Just and then I'll also throw in my social security number in there too, my bank ID and all that.
See, yeah,
no
just
problem.
make it easy, man. You know what I mean? Don't make people have to jump through hoops.
Yeah, no problem.
see, it all ties in. Mike takes the magazines, you send the money, everything's good.
Yeah, $5,000.
Right? Exactly, man. So, but Facebook. There's been a lot of stuff going on out there. I've seen some cool stuff. We'll cover a few more things. Some good things, and obviously some challenges out there. One other thing I wanted to mention is I really love the group. I was in a mini truck / car club in the 80s and 90s. Chris Anders, we've had him on before. But in that group, one of the guys shared a video, which, believe it or not, Ruben, we're going to date ourselves here because I know you were at this event. Spring Splash 94. If you can believe it, they actually had video recorders, camcorders back then. And this guy took some pretty good video and he uploaded it to YouTube, and I borrowed some of it and I kind of remixed it, and that's where I was able to make the Chris Anders, the famous scalloped truck. I was able to make a little video of that, and obviously he did kind of a raw deal where he just uploaded it straight up there. No big deal. But man, I mean, can you believe they had camcorders back then, dude?
I was there. Not only was I there, and I think part of that video, I think my Toyota was in that.
I think so.
And,
yep.
Yeah, I think that was a video, and if my memory serves me correctly, I think that was the run that Courtney took that famous cover shot with all the trucks.
Yep.
And,
you're right.
Yeah, we had, and you know what? Yeah, I have an 8mm cassette that actually Radar's got. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I sent it to Radar when right after the DVD came out, and he was talking about putting a second DVD together and all that. And anyways, yeah, I remember that run. That was one of the first runs that I had attended out at the river in Parker. And man, like I said, dude, those days were epic. People have tried to recreate that, man, but there's no going back.
That's like trying to recreate Woodstock. They kind of tried to do it. I think the only thing they got right with Woodstock was they had the mudslides, run in, no showers, I mean, dude, like the mud pit deal.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing back in like 99 when, I don't know if it was Limp Bizkit or who the hell it was, where they started the fires and stuff.
Yeah,
It was kind of like it, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. But, you mentioned Radar, and I want to throw a plug out there to remind you that you can check out the West Coast Influence. You have to go to minitruckfilm.com. It's a Blu-ray or DVD. And to Ruben's point, Radar had spent a lot of time, a lot of money to put together this content, and we've had them on in the past. But what I would tell you is get out there, get the Blu-ray, get the DVD. It's pretty reasonably priced. Add it to your collection. It's minitruckfilm.com. But yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing, Ruben, that I've been pushing myself to try to learn more things like editing and whatnot, and it's really fun to me. Like I kind of used to get like overwhelmed because, like, I mean, if you put together a lot of content like a Brian Good, right, from Grinder TV, one of my favorite YouTube channels, and you're putting together all that, I mean, that's a lot of stuff. You get back from a show and you're going, dude, like, I just wanted to film it. Like, I didn't want to edit it. There's so much. But with these older videos, like, I look at it and go, okay, there's like 11, 12 minutes. A lot of the shots, especially because back then we didn't have phones, we just had our camcorder. You got these quick pan shots, or you got a little walk around and stuff. So it's kind of cool to be able to take a 30 or 60-second clip and kind of encapsulate that into like, boom, into this little video, and then get it out there, and then people are like, oh, crap. Because you know how the day and age we're living in now, everybody wants just like little bits of information. Nobody wants to read the whole book, but they want like the bullet points. You know what I mean?
Right. And you know what? Instagram and TikTok and all that, I think it's kind of made it a lot easier. But, just think, there's not only like those videos that we're talking about, but there's got to be so much more in people's, dresser drawers or closets, just sitting there. Like what Maggie brought up in that in on that podcast of the film rolls that she found of Courtney's.
Yep.
There's got to be more gems out there like that, just hidden away. I know I got rolls of film put away that haven't been developed in 20, 30 years. Dude. That I should go get them out of storage and send them and develop them. Now, who knows what the hell's on there?
Well, I mean, remember, I mean, Mike's got a whole storage of stuff too, and I said, look, man, I said, I'll be honest, Mike, burn the tapes that he's talking about. He's got. I said, burn them, dude.
Dude, hey Jay, you know what? We keep bringing this up, dude. This podcast could be like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, because I got a little delete button I'm hitting here, and it's all just erasing, like a Men in Black deal.
Dude,
But
yeah, Ixnan to Mikey.
well, I routinely will give a lot of credit to Steve Nielsen, Alter Images back in the day, and it's funny because Steve has said some stuff has went full circle. Me getting in the game back in the day, 97, more like 98, giving him a call, ordering some stuff from him, and then he sent me that VHS tape, which about 20 years later I get it converted to digital, and I've been ripping it and then editing it and trying to kind of sparse it out a little bit here and there. But what's cool is it has Cow Truck Jam on it. And I think I told you one time, I was like, man, I had watched it for the first time in a while, and you had the white Toyota was there. I think it was, there's like 4 or 5 shows, and I got them all labeled now, but I think it was Cow Truck Jam that you had it at, I think. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I remember I had that truck on display at one point, like in the Truckin corral. And then another one, I actually did show it like a year later. Or I showed it like at 2 or 3. That it had to have been late 90s, early 2000s, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah. I was actually parked like right by their rig when he had the double trailer.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And what's cool is he kind of had it edited to a point on that bigger VHS tape. He had it edited down by like the show. And it was kind of easy to figure out because, like, a lot of times, like, I'll be like, was that it? So then I'll go look at old show coverage, and I'm like, yep, MIC Dooley was there, boom, West Side, and then I'm like, okay, and then I'll look, and I'll be like, okay, Ruben's truck. So I don't always just take the audio on because they didn't always say what show they were at, but trying to line that stuff up and figure it out isn't always easy, but I love doing that.
Right. No, it's kind of cool, and it's kind of cool to kind of dissect it by the vehicles that were there, and to kind of give it a timeline.
Yeah. And for anybody that hasn't went back and listened to the Rob Rodell episode, you may look at it and go, Ruben and I talked about this earlier before we started. We all have got different jobs, different careers, and sometimes we can listen to a whole episode in one setting. There's a few shows I listen to like in multiple settings, but the dedication that we have to getting Rob on and talking to him, and him kind of sharing, hey, Lomigo was kind of a part of really 3 covers if you think about it. One, Spring Splash 94, which we're talking about. Of course, he mentioned after Rezo, Courtney shoots it for the cover, July 98, but then you have the January 99 going into that last year of the decade. You had Duckman, NC Duck, and then you had Ghetto Bob with the S10, but then you see Lomigo, and you have to look close, but to have a truck that's a part of 3 separate covers, pretty cool,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and we just love this stuff, and that's why it's been great getting to know you over the years and becoming such good friends, Ruben, because I mean, you go back to, you predate us by a couple, maybe 3-4 decades, would you say, as far as shows? I mean, you were going to the van shows when they started, right?
Oh, yeah, I was born at one of those van shows. Don't tell anyone, though.
Wait, born or conceived?
Probably both.
Right. Oh man, I saw a van the other day over at Joe's at Custom Rods here in Tampa, and I walked in, I go, holy shit, where's this time capsule from? Josh was always talking about he's got the time capsule with the OBS. Dude,
right.
This carpet, it was the same carpet, almost the same color my dad had in his late 70s Dodge van. And dude, the guy, I go, bro, like, where did this thing come from? He goes, man, it's been sitting behind a liquor store for 20 years, dude. The guy's getting ready to pull it back out, and I was like, dude. And when I posted it, some of the comments were killing me. They're like, get the Febreze. Imagine all the, the stuff that's in there. And then someone had a funny one. They're like, imagine all the single moms that were in there. I was like, I don't know if I want to imagine
that. That stuff is hot right now. Those vans, I mean, they're worth their weight in gold, believe it or not.
Yeah, Josh Wheeler, Boogaloo Van on Instagram, dude. I mean, one of the coolest cats, man. Boogaloo Van, he's been, Orlando Vanners and running hard out there for years. And, it is, we could almost do a whole episode about how things come full circle. Whether it's, I don't know, bell bottoms ever came full circle, but styles do. TV shows. I think I never watched is it Made Men? Men, whatever, from it was of the 60s. My mother-in-law loved that show. It kind of brought her back to that era. But, whether it's TV, movies, I mean, we've seen the stuff with Stranger Things, all of the 80s stuff coming full circle, the bikes. Some of this stuff, there's always been collectors of it. But when it comes back full force, it kind of reinforces that, it's just, to me, it's a cool thing,
Right, no doubt. I mean, and it's kind of funny when and how and who brings it back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think those are the main scene updates I wanted to cover this week. We want to thank Garage Gear Clothing. You can visit garagegearclothing.com. And Ruben, you remember how much the shipping is on garagegearclothing.com, right?
You know what, dude? I failed at math.
Shit.
You got that calculator?
Yeah, I got it right here. It's something about 0 and then times, what was it? 0, right?
Dude. Something like that.
Yeah, so I think it's 0 times 0 comes out to 0, right? I mean, that was the one thing I figured out in good old Land O'Lakes High School where I went back in the day. But yeah, it's free shipping, and I know it's in the United States. I think at the continental United States, but they also embrace the ladies. Plenty of women's choices, but they also have plenty of kid choices. If you're looking for holiday gifts and things like that, as we get closer to the end of the year, dare I say, go to garagegearclothing.com. So, Ruben, what we're going to do here for the key show updates is I'm going to roll into some audio now with the big homie, Down for Dennis, the guy that's behind it, Darrell Poe, as I call him, DP, Down for Darrell. And let's go ahead and roll into that, and we'll listen to what he's got to share about the show this weekend. Yeah, he's got a big rooster running around. I like it.
That's awesome.
Yo. So as I mentioned, we're going to transition in here to some audio with the homie DP, Darrell Poe. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Good, man. I know you're up there repping Extreme Lows with the fam, Nicky Poe. You guys holding it down?
Yeah, we're just holding it down and trying to get ready for this show this weekend.
Yeah, man. Down for Dennis. I think it's been 2 years we've had you on to kind of talk about the fallen homie and the cause behind this awesome show, Down for Dennis on Facebook, Instagram. Talk to us a little bit about the event. It's coming up this weekend, Princeton, the who, what, why, where, just for folks that might want to know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so we're actually going back to the dealership this year, and it's Ramey Chevrolet in Princeton, West Virginia. On our Facebook page and on our event page, we'll have the address, but I think it's 136 Fairmont Drive. I'm pretty sure that's it. So we were able to come back, like I say, to the dealership. We actually have the opposite side of the dealership this year, which is actually really good for us because it's so much more room. I guess with the inventory and stuff, people not able to stock vehicles right now, brand new vehicles, it actually benefited us. So I was actually out at the showgrounds today, and it's a lot more room. We went, Nikki and I went Sunday and kind of mapped off a few things. So it looks to be a better spot for us. So like I say, we're coming back to Ramey's. We have several vendors, a couple food vendors. I know Jama's street food will be there. We have the church, our local church here, Voice of Praise Worship Center. They'll be on hand cooking for people. So, and then we have several other vendors. Driven will be there. And Stunt Army will be back doing their thing, doing all their stunts and everything. So we're looking forward to having them back. This year we've got several raffle items. We got several auction items. I had some of the show staff here this weekend, and we were building tailgate benches, and that was a lot of fun having them around and just being able to come together and build some stuff to raffle off, or to auction off. And Nathan and Ashley and Rick and Andy and BJ and me and Nikki, we busted our butts on those Saturday. So it was really cool to do that. So yeah, we're looking forward to being back at Ramey's. They wanted us back. They are our title sponsor. We've had several people come on board this year with small donations and all that. So yeah, it's been really good.
Excellent. Down for Dennis, as you mentioned on Facebook, one of the things I always enjoy is seeing what you're going to do with the artwork. Graphic Disorder, for anybody out there, we talk about them all the time. They do all of our stuff, and we love what they do. Now, you picked the long bed S10. I got a chance to see that at Southeast Mini Truck and Nats this year. Always been a fan of the long bed Chevy S10. What was the thought process behind picking that killer ride for your show artwork, which is going to include the shirts?
Yeah, actually, what we try to do each year with the artwork is, Dennis, and I've said this before, of course, Dennis was a mini trucker, and he loved tons of mini trucks, all shapes and sizes of them, all colors, whatever. So each year we've tried to honor, a fellow mini trucker that has been in the scene for a long time, or, that's built trucks or whatever the case may be, So this year we chose Jason Rice. He is actually an Extreme Lows petitioner, and we try to do colors too. So like the first year was with Kenny's truck, it was a different blue, and then, we went with red one year and then green, and this year we decided to go with, the blue that's on his color, or the color blue that's on his truck, sorry. So we try to stay with that theme. So next year it'll be a different color, it'll be a different truck, whatever. So we really just looked at Jason's truck. Jason is a great dude, super friendly, and he's just a great person. And we just thought this year it would be great to put his stuff on the artwork, honor him, and just, we just ran with it. And of course, like you said, you mentioned Graphic Disorder. They absolutely, every year they knock the artwork out of the park for us. And, so yeah, thanks to them, we'll keep going back as long as we get great service, we'll keep going back, because they are one of the best, if not the best in the business. And we just absolutely appreciate them. But yeah, we picked Jason this year, and all the artwork, the top 30s will have his truck. This year I decided to do something different with the best ofs. I actually seen it online. Somebody did a wrestling belt. I actually think it was Jason with Relaxin in the Park. And I thought, man, it would be really cool to, because of course you and I both, and a lot of mini truckers were into wrestling. So I thought, man, it would be cool. That's right. So I thought it'd be cool to do the best ofs all in wrestling belts.
Oh yeah.
So we did all of our best ofs. The best of show is a full size, Ric Flair Hulk Hogan championship belt. It's a full size belt, and then the others are miniature belts, and that'll be like your best mini truck, your best paint, best suspension, things like that. And so we're really looking forward to giving these best ofs away. I think it's pretty awesome. And then of course Welch's Chop Shop has done our top 30 and for this year, and some club picks. He's done some of those. So those will be here this weekend. So we're looking forward to, giving all this stuff away. So yeah.
Yeah. And we often will plug our friend Josh Welch and his pops, great people. Welch's Chop Shop, Instagram and Facebook, some of the best in the business. They get out there, they get the awards done, and I've loved seeing what they've done for you guys. The artwork goes great on those medal awards. And this, it's funny because Mike and I used to talk about like a wrestling term, wrestling, on each episode, and maybe I'll throw one out here right here. We know that you're not going to oversell the show. Overselling, of course, is in the wrestling terms is, to show too much of a reaction to an opponent's offense, for example, tumbling head over heels all the way across the ring. But that's the cool thing. You guys don't oversell the event. It is what it is. And you've had this awesome support from the Extreme Lows family and many of the other clubs that come out. Now, I did want to also do a public service announcement. Graphic Disorder has posted this as well. Many of us, as you know, DP, is we've been kind of not hacked, but you have all of these fake accounts that are screenshotting and taking artwork, and then they're presenting it like, hey, I can make a cartoon of your vehicle, send me $20, $30, whatever. Oh, hey, these are the artwork, the shirts that I'm doing. We've seen that. They've taken you guys' artwork as well, but all we can really do is kind of report those accounts, and I'd like to remind everyone, don't send money to anyone, especially if they hit you up through Instagram and say, hey, send us money. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's just been really annoying.
It has been, and actually twice today I've called two people out on it. They've added me, on Instagram, and I look and scroll through, and I'm like, yep, definitely a scammer. So I've reported two of them today. A third one, well, the first one was the other day. And so, yeah, I got two more of those today and called one of them out, and they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, you're scamming. You're taking people's artwork. You need to quit. And then I go back over to the page, and the page had been deleted. So, yeah, definitely don't be sending people money that you don't know for sure. But yeah, they are. It's apparently it's running wild or whatever. It's like wildfire spreading with these scammers trying to steal people's artwork, and it's uncalled for. So yeah, you guys listening to this show, be aware. Do not send money to people if you don't know them.
Yeah, and I'll even see some prominent folks out there that have been in the scene a long time. They're like, hey, is this a legit account? I mean, they're just legitimately asking because, again, some people might casually go on Instagram, a couple hours, a week, if that, and they see it. They're like, oh, cool, I'll follow this. But, rest assured, everything I've seen is all graphic disorder, and it really reinforces how good their artwork is because people are like, hey, let's pretend and then try to steal. So just a PSA out there, everyone. But the cool thing is about your show is down number 4 Dennis. That's the hashtag that we always use. Miggity Mike the Mayor is going to be up there this weekend gallivanting around. I know Josh Ellis loves the event. But that down for Dennis, you can tap on that hashtag, especially on Instagram, and you'll be able to see all the curated kind of posts that come together. I know you guys put in a large effort. Other than Rainey Chevrolet, who you mentioned, were there any other shout-outs you wanted to give, homie, related to Down for Dennis?
Yeah, and I'll kind of add to that, too. I wanted to say that we do have a host hotel. It is Sleep Inn in Princeton, West Virginia. Of course, you can Google search that, or people can message me, and I'll give them the number. You have to ask for the Down for Dennis rate of $89. So I would like to, give those guys a shout-out for helping us out with that rate. A normal rate, I think, was like $139 or something. So they did come on board and help us out with that. We've got, of course, a lot of people come on board. Craig Raleigh with Battle and Bama came on big this year for us. Royal Brass and Hose locally here, they've been a sponsor of ours, ever since Down for Dennis was brought back. Lots of little sponsors and lots of people donating stuff. You got Jason Bell with Mini Truckers Union. You got John Shank donated this awesome dimple dye panel with the actual set of dimple dyes that's bolted to it. Like it came in the mail today, and I'll be truthful with you, I want to bid on it myself. It's so cool.
Nice.
So we got people like, oh yeah, dude, it is amazing. And so yeah, we've got. We have. I'm trying to think of everything we do have. Of course, a lot of little packages, with detail stuff. We actually have a pressure washer. Will be in our auction, or not our auction, I'm sorry, in the raffle, along with some cleaning supplies. I mean, you name it, we've pretty much got it this year. So I wish I could name them all. We had like 6, I think my last count is we had 62 people that are businesses or companies that actually came on board and donated this year. Handmade Howard in Indiana, Paul Howard. God, man, there's so many of them. But
oh yeah,
I was trying to get a bunch of them in there the best I could. But yeah, man, it's been great. We had Kent with who does the gathering. He donated banners and things like that. So many people this year, and like I said, I know I'm missing a bunch, but I'd like to thank all of them who helped support this. This really does mean a lot to us, and we want to continue to grow it, and with people like these folks, that says a lot, and that's what helps us, and that's what helps a lot of these bigger shows, is the people behind it. We may be the staff, and we do work to put this on, but without people behind us and donating money or donating their product or donating their time, we could not do this. I mean, there's just no way we could do it. And like I said, I'm trying to think of the rest of some of these other folks, but we will definitely thank them the day of. I have a list, and people came on board. Another local company, a guy I graduated with, SwiftNet Integration. They do a lot of like fiber optic cable and things like that, and the internet installs and all this stuff. And they came on board big for us this year. So there's so many people behind this show, and it's actually, very, I'm looking for a word, but it's just amazing. Just amazing at the people that's helped us, and especially Ramey's, allowing us to use their lot. They are our major sponsor, and I was there visiting with them today, and they kind of had a little plan for us set in place too. So yeah, man, it's just so many people, and I wish I could sit here and name them all, but it's just been overwhelming. It's been great at the response, and you guys, helping us put it out there. Y'all share everything we do on social media. You have me on to do these podcasts and stuff, and we're grateful for that, and we appreciate you guys also.
Hey, it's no problem. I appreciate the good word. One thing that we always give you and the Mrs. Nikki credit for is obviously you're doing this, for the greater good of the scene, for the fallen friend, but you also go to a lot of shows. You gallivant all over the country. We love it. I mean, hell, you guys, we didn't really get a chance, I don't think, to talk afterwards in terms of the audio on the podcast, but you guys even went to Vegas this year for our homie Mini Truck Showdown, right? And that was, I'm sure, an epic trip, dude. Just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
Man, it definitely was, and maybe we can get together one day and go. Oh yeah. I know this one's more about the show, but maybe we can get together one day and I'll tell a lot about it. But man, it was just it. I mentioned this, that it snowballed, and it really did. We had no plans of going, and then I seen it come up, and I told Nikki, I was like, I'd love to go to Vegas, and she said, so let's go. And I'm like, what? And she goes, let's go. So then the ball got to rolling, man, and I call him my road dog, which he falls asleep on me a bunch. my buddy Ronnie Pelham, called him up. I'm like, bro, you want to go to Vegas? And he was like, are you serious? And I go, yeah, man, we're going to roll. We're going to go to this Mini Truck Showdown. And so long story short, we got together with them. We roll with Glenn Brown and Kelly Stacy, and we're rolling out. And, and then, of course, Dave McCarty, he was emailing me and texting me. He was like, bro, you're going out this far. You need to go to Tombstone. You got to take your truck to Tombstone. And I'm like, man, I just don't know about going 7 hours out of the way or whatever it was. And, we ended up making that work. Dave said, if I can email the town, will you go? And I said, you get it approved and we'll go. Because Nikki put her foot down, she was like, you remember that time we went to California? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, remember how you didn't want to spend the night? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, we're going to Tombstone. I'm putting my foot down. You will regret it if we don't go. So I messaged Dave back. I said, man, everybody in this vehicle says we're going. So Dave emails the town of Tombstone and gets it all approved through the mayor to get the truck on, the main street right there in front of the OK Corral. And man, it was just, like I said, we'll catch up one other day and tell a little more about it, but it was phenomenal. And then of course we get into Vegas, and I have to give props to those guys that put on that show, Corey and Sean, and man, we absolutely had a blast in Vegas and met a lot of people, and and it means more to me, than any trophy could ever mean to me when somebody comes up to you out on the West Coast and they walk straight up to you and they say, man, I don't know that I've ever got to come to the East Coast to see your truck. I greatly appreciate you bringing it out here. And man, to me, that says it all right there, and I'm like, God, that is so cool. And, but yeah, the Vegas trip was it was amazing. And I'd love to do it again. I don't think I can do it again next year, but maybe in 2 years or something, I'd love to go back, and support that show again. It was great, man. It was a super cool time, and traveling, it was hardcore. I'll have to admit, we ended up getting hotel rooms a couple nights, but we get there at like midnight to 1 o'clock, and then we're up at like 5 a.m. to get ready and be back on the road by 6. I mean, it was pretty crazy. It had to be the most, hardcore trip I think I've ever taken.
Yeah, man. It was pretty sick. And, I want to give a huge shout out to our friend Corey and Sean, our family. We're going to be linking up with them soon, talking about Mini Truck Showdown for 2022. Now, it's going to be May 6th through May 8th out there, of course, in Vegas. I believe it's Bally's Hotel and Casino. And you just heard right there from DP, man. He approves the message. But, dude, it's always good to catch up with you. We got a lot of love for Extreme Lows. I always remind people, one of the homies in your club, he would always remind me the hashtag's XL, and then it's number 4, Extreme Lows for Life. I think it's LYFE. LYFE.
Yeah, I believe you're
XL4LYFE. And you can check that hashtag. You'll see a lot of the Extreme Lows members. I know you're a proud member, and we've used that one many a times. You've been on kind of this warpath over the past year or so with the truck. So, again, a tip of the cap to you guys. And Nikki, I know you're building a truck for her. I would love to come have you and maybe even Nikki at the same time come back on. We'll talk a little bit about that. We certainly appreciate when you come down here to Florida. You were in our neck of the woods for Mike's show. We were able to go out and link up and get a meal together. Greg was with us, our friend, who's no longer with us, and it was just a great night. But certainly for what you and Nikki and your club does for the scene, I mean, that's most important. We love seeing that. And dude, I think that's all I can think of. Was there anything else maybe for Down for Dennis this weekend, Princeton, West Virginia, that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I greatly appreciate those kind words, and I'm glad I did meet with you guys that night. Well, us,
Yeah.
And we met with you guys and had dinner with Greg and Sean, and man, that was just, you look back and you meet somebody 2 or 3 times, and you feel, comfortable around them, and it makes you think, man, if I lived closer, I would definitely hang out with that guy or go to dinner with that guy or whatever the case may be. And I definitely got that feeling about Greg, and I did just want to say that, but I better not say too much, man. It actually makes me emotional, but with Down for Dennis stuff, I wish, well, let me back up and say this. With Down for Dennis, you guys traveling in, of course, be careful, especially coming through Virginia. The cops radar like crazy. So If you're listening to this on your way in Friday, watch your speed in Virginia. We are in West Virginia, and yes, watch your speed there too, but they are nowhere near as bad. So please watch your speed. There is some small construction on a bridge in Withville, Virginia that may not be too bad. I mean, it's still open 2 lanes on both sides, so it should be good to go. Shouldn't be no issues there. But so yeah, everybody coming in. I was asked that about staging and parking vehicles on Friday night. The dealership does have cameras, but they do not have an on-site security. So if you do want to park your vehicle Friday night, it's basically at your own risk. But I mean, they have brand new cars sitting there also, so it's not like you're not. I don't think there would be any problem with anything. So I need to touch on this real quick though. Registration is $20. You have to pay that before you come into the show gate. We try to keep it at $20 to help people out, and that's the way it's always been for us. So it's $20 at the gate. You come in. This year we should be able to let trailers pull on in that lot, and unload, and then at the back part of that lot will be trailer parking. We will have guys on site, show and say, hey, once you unload, please pull back there. We have plenty enough room to handle all of that. So spectators are free. You can come in and see the stunt show. You can come in, and watch the lowrider limbo, CL's Finest in Charleston, West Virginia. We'll be handling that for us again this year. So yeah, man, just that's pretty much the basics, kind of the high spots. We will be there probably around 7 to set up. Some folks have already asked if they could come in at around 7:30, and we said yes, that would be fine. But we would really like to start taking people about 8 o'clock. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if anybody has any questions or anything they need to ask, they can hit me up on Facebook or on Instagram, and I'll be more than glad to help any way I can.
Yeah, and it's Down for Dennis, the hashtag. And of course, as he mentioned, take heed. We all heard the crazy stories about Virginia with, the stuff. I think even radar detectors, which most people don't have those anymore. That's an old school term of the week. Those I think were illegal, not legal. They were illegal in a couple of states. I think VA was one of them. But of course, my favorite thing is use Waze. Follow the Waze app. Waze is owned by Google. But of course, you've got the Wazers, as they're called. You can tap kind of if you see something on the road there, and that'll help maybe keep your speed down a little bit, if you know what I mean. But down number 4, Dennis, Darrell, Nicky Poe, and of course all of the cast and characters, Extreme Lows. Many of the members there, you guys all, it's a collaborative effort. I know, like I said, Josh Ellis will be up there and Miggity Mike and everyone gallivanting around. If you see Mike, make sure everyone that he's posting photos, because he's been known to go to these events and basically ghost us, right? So that's gonna take some tick marks away, and we gotta have him posting the stuff with the hashtag Down for Dennis. So DP, Darrell, my brother, thanks for everything, man.
Yes, sir, brother. I appreciate it, and thank you. And I will say one last thing. Abby will be there. We will have her there if anybody wants to come up and talk to her, give her a hug. She loves meeting people, so Abby will be there this year. She actually broke her foot, but we're gonna take care of that. We'll have her on a golf cart to ride her around and all that stuff. So Abby is Dennis's mom, for those of you who don't know. So be sure you look her up. She loves to talk to people, loves to give hugs and all that. So yeah, with that being said, man, we're excited. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate everybody coming up, and safe travels to all of you all, and we'll see you there.
Yes, sir. Certainly appreciate it. Keep us in the loop. And if you guys are out there, like many of you will be, hashtag it Down for Dennis and tag Down for Dennis on Instagram and our Facebook. Have a good one, my brother DP, Darrell Poe.
All right, brothers. We'll see you later.
Back to the show, already in progress. Okay, cool. So, yeah, thanks, Darrell, so much for taking the time, dude. It was really cool to sync up. Ruben, I'll share, we got a few more things we'll share, but I wanted to mention that kind of here's what we're looking for the rest of the year. You basically have, so next weekend is the Spark Show. Of course, that's in Sevierville, Tennessee. We got to link up with Adam again to talk about the Spark Show. It's going down 8:13 through 8:15. Attitude Check. So that's 8:25 through 8:27. We've talked a lot about that one. And you can go on Facebook. Now, this one's, you want to make sure you spell it right. It's Attitude Check. And you'll see that that's out on Facebook. We also have that on our calendar. I think it's technically the 19th through the 22nd is what I saw on Facebook. But it's Woodford, Virginia. From there, you're going to have Small Town Throwdown. That's St. Cloud. That's the big homie Matt and all of the vertically challenged kinfolk. They've had pre-sales on shirts. That's going to be September 4th. And then Slam Fest. Can you believe 30 years, Ruben, of Slam Fest?
That is so awesome. That is so incredible. 30 years for a show, for a club to throw the same show. Dude. I mean, that is just, that's incredible. You know?
Yeah, man, I really think it is. And if you look up Mini Madness on Instagram, you can click the link in their bio or visit Mini Madness's website. And the real cool thing about their website is it's real simple. It's minimadness.com. Now, you do have to scroll to the bottom and click here for show info. And then on the top, go to online registration, car and truck show. And you can do the online registration. Now, they've continued to say that you can save $20, Ruben. And guess what? The $20 will then afford you to buy at the show.
A T-shirt?
A T-shirt. Alcohol? Yeah. Boom. Couple beers, a couple beers, maybe a shirt. And, dude, the shirt is epic. You got Barsh's Dooley, no compromise. You have Roro. Now, how the hell did he get on the shirt, dude? He's freaking in the club, dude. Come on, man. But
you know what, though?
no,
Hey.
I know. It's good. It hits. I'm dancing with you. So you got that. Now,
Yeah.
Scott built the truck back in the day, but Roro has done a great job of keeping it alive. And then you got a car on there. So it's a good mix through, the different dimensions of this show.
Right.
Which I think is good. And from there, you're basically going to have Laying at the Lake. So you're going to have SEMA week, which is like that first week we all know in November, kind of the 1st through the 4th. I kind of call it the whole week. And then Street Trucks is going to be out there doing live streaming. Looks like I'm hoping I'll make it out. And then you'll have Laying at the Lake the 12th, 13th, and 14th. That is, again, on our OLP calendar. That is in Grapeland, Texas. And then Bayou Showdown the 19th, 20th, 21st. All of these I'm pulling right off for the OLP calendar. You go to ourlifestylepodcast.com on your phone or computer. Left side, click the little menu, and then select where it says the OLP digital show calendar. If you're a show promoter, email us, ourlifestylepodcast@gmail.com, or click email in Instagram. Our profile, we will add your show to the calendar. I dedicate my time just to do it. Of course, I'll usually make it an annual event or try to re-add it. I know those are kind of the key show updates. I know, Ruben, you generally you're going to make SEMA, and I know you've been kind of working on some stuff on the backside, but you think you're going to make it to Vegas this year?
Oh, definitely, for sure. We'll be there the whole week. Helping out with a couple of projects this year. One for sure. Really looking forward to catching up with you, man. Most definitely, I know we'll be there, and we'll be there for the Hall of Fame that Monday. So you'll be there, right?
It looks like I'm going to be there thanks to the great people at Street Trucks. They said, hey, can you come out and gallivant with us? And I said, only if I can come off the top ropes, on, like a ladder match deal. But, like the ladder, off the ladder to the top ropes, double backflip, right into kind of a finish move. Right
on. So you'll be the one with the big bodyguards and security all over where you can't get 5 feet around you. So, I'll respect the distance.
Well,
so.
No. Well, here's the funny thing. The day that we're recording was the infamous day in '95 at the Source Awards when Suge said, quote, any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star and don't worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the videos, all on the records, dancing. Come, not to OLP, Ruben, come to Death Row. Dude, when Suge got up there and said that, dude, in New York, I was like, dude, man. And I don't think they aired it live back then. I forget if it was like a delay, a day or two or whatever. But, dude, a lot of people say that was the day that freaking hip-hop changed, man.
I remember that. I remember watching it. I don't know if it was live or not, but I remember seeing it.
Yep. Well, that's what, Mike's, all trying to be in the videos and stuff. I was like, dude, you better watch out, man. If Suge gets bail, he's coming for you, Mike.
Dude, that boy is on next level now. Talk about going to your head.
Yep. Well, a couple more updates, podcast updates. We continue to see some awesome reviews come in. If you're listening on an iPhone, the easiest thing to do is go to the purple pre-installed app, select library, click OLP, scroll all the way down. We're not going down. And then tap the 5 stars. And then if you want to go above and beyond, you can actually write a review. And when they say writing, Ruben, the new version of writing is tapping, right? Because, you're not like taking a pencil out. So you're actually tapping it in with your thumbs, or how I type with one thumb and my index finger. It's kind of weird. No,
right,
pointer. No.
Pointer.
Wait, pointer finger and thumb. It's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, so it looks like we haven't gotten any new ones, but we're at 244, so we need to keep the pedal stomp. Let's try to get to, we'll set a reasonable goal, 270 by the end of the year, so that's another 56 or so. Let's get out there. No, not 56. 26. Okay, another 20. We need 26 reviews before the end of the year. We do have some cool stuff coming this month. It's, of course, August. And this is our 6th anniversary, Ruben. Can you believe that? But we're going with 6 years. Hard to paint, dog.
Dude, that's incredible. And you know what? To reach 250, dude, that's incredible. That is like pedal stomp, balls to the wall,
Like Chris
cannonball.
Yeah, like Chris Burns peeling out of the shop on a Friday evening, dude. Ready, dude, salivating to get a brewski.
How do you know about that? I never posted that video.
Dude, I heard he pulls out of there like James Bond dropping, like when James Bond would pull the deal and like the oil would come out and like the guy would be like scooting behind him or whatever. I heard he gets so sideways that like the police are starting to stake out the shop going, dude, Chris Burns, bro, please, you got to calm it down. This is like, this is a friendly neighborhood here.
Dude, I never sent you that video. I never told you that story. You did not hear that from me.
Now,
right?
I've seen some of these sideshows that he's apparently taken part in, and I understand like he doesn't want his identity to be, out there, but, too late.
You need to come by the shop one Friday. That's
Dude.
all. We'll just leave it at that.
Yep, we'll crack some brews, man.
Hell yeah.
Thanks to Joey at Get Decked, you can go to Get Decked, or search Get Decked, rather, on Facebook or Instagram, and you can hit them up. You can put a photo or artwork that you have on a skate deck. So perfect anniversary gift or a holiday Christmas gift for your significant other or son. Of course, Diggity Dom, which is DJ May's son, he loves his skate decks, and he's a type of kid that would love to get something like that. But it's Get Decked. And, of course, want to say thanks to DJ Mays on Twitch for all that he does. Great ambassador to the scene, and love to continue to hear those mixes on Twitch. Look up DJ Mays Radio. Ruben, dude, this one's a little tough, right? Airhead Nation updates, man. Many of us know we lost, Courtney 10 years ago, and, we paid homage to him. Of course, before that, we lost Greg. As far as episode-wise, we paid homage to our friend that's gone. But, the tough thing, Ruben, when we continue to get older every day, every second, every minute, we continue to lose people around us, and it's not easy. But, especially for friends, loved ones, significant others and whatnot. And, we've had to cover too many, unfortunately, of these over the past, year, right, in the past 6 years, give or take. But I did see, and we, I've kind of mentioned, like, we haven't really had a chance to cover a lot of these because we've had, just some couple of episodes planned. But I did see that our friend Billy Truckin Kid on Facebook, he had posted, with heavy hearts I write this, thank you to everyone for the prayers yesterday. Samuel F.O.N. Shaver, which I think is Freaks of Nature, was called home by our father yesterday, leaving behind great memories. I pray for his 3 children, his girlfriend, Misty McMurray, I believe is her last name. And, that's a tough one, dude, because I tell you, man, Freak Check, those are some hard-running dudes, man, and ladies, and they go to shows nationwide. But, to see this photo with him and his 3 boys, man, it's not easy, brother.
Yeah, I can only imagine, my heart goes out to him.
Now, out your way, again, not easy to transition, but there was a guy that I have this saved. Now, there's a guy named Kane Morris, and many of you would probably know his name over the years. Some of you were good friends with Kane. Kane is a guy that I never got to know. I know, his name is synonymous with the scene because of, I believe, Ruben, you may know that he was, I think, the guy behind the Hack Shack. Was it? Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah. So, for anybody that knew Kane, again, I don't know. I did not know him. I did see a post out there. I thank someone for kind of posting that so that we could mention this. So rest in peace, condolences to his family, and sorry to hear of the loss. Now, we also unfortunately celebrated Bruce Rivera just the other day. Was the anniversary of his passing. I think it was on July 10th, and John Turner, one of his best friends, had posted on this 14th anniversary of Bruce's death, we have to lay to rest another great dude that left us way too early, and it was Aaron Gusrang, I believe is how you say it, but everyone knew him as Sunshine. he was a hardcore RA dude, I believe, right, Ruben, and he's going to be missed, dude. I know those guys ran together real tight.
Yeah, he passed away. I believe it was on the 5th of July.
Yeah, so that's a tough one, and I'm telling you, here's the other one that I have saved, man. Rest in peace to our brother Scott Wilson, 714, dude, dragging frame on those heavenly streets of gold. This was posted up, it looks like, by James Smith, may have reshared it from Brian Batty. And, it's, we never really cover the details behind these, but, for anyone that, was aware of what happened with him, it's just a tragic thing. And I tell people all the time out there, just be safe, because there's a lot of lunatics. And Mike Murray, if I remember correctly, Mike had told me that he had spoken to Scott the same day, and Scott was eagerly excited to come down to Daytona in January of next year for their show. Him and John are throwing this cool show. Many of you guys know about it, but it's just a tough thing, man. It really is.
Yeah, and I also want to bring up another RA brother of mine from Florida, Bob on the Couch.
Yes.
We just celebrated his anniversary of his passing. You know what? It was maybe about a week and a half ago. And you know what? I'm so sorry. I don't remember. I think he passed away 7 or 8 years ago. I want to maybe a little longer than that.
Yeah, and Kevin's always done a good job of kind of keeping that alive. And a lot of the RA guys, I mean, dude, all of them. They posted up. His nickname was Bob on the Couch, and they some of you have those famous stickers and whatnot. And it's a tough thing, man. It really is. And we're fortunate that we have this platform to be able to, pay our respects and send our condolences to the friends and family members and club members and stuff. But, again, we would just encourage everyone to be safe out there. It's a crazy world, and, this times we're living in are not easy. But just to kind of finish on a little bit of an uptick, Jason Bell, he says on July 26, 18 years ago, I said I do to my best friend. And that's Sarah Bell, of course. But, Jason Bell with Mini Truckin Nats, a.k.a. Southeast Mini Truckin Nationals. Just a great dude, good family guy, hard-working blue-collar guy. And we love Mini Nats. It's every April, unless there's a COVID year. It's every April in Maggie Valley. Don't want to jinx that at all. Definitely want to be back in Maggie Valley next April. And Ruben, we might have to get you to gallivant on up to the streets of Maggie Valley, and we'll show you how the east side does it, dude. The west may be the best supposedly, but the east is a beast, is what they used to say, man.
You know what? That show is definitely on my bucket list. I've heard all these stories and seen everything. All the coverage and stuff. I definitely do need to get out there. Who knows? Who knows what the future is going to bring me? But I'm down for it.
Oh yeah. Well, before I ask you if you have any shout-outs or anything else you want to say, I'm gonna call, and I'll bake this audio in after I give this update. I'm going to talk to Matt Weathers, which I mentioned at the beginning, so I'll bake some audio in. He was boots on the ground for Relaxin in the Northwest, The Awakening. But really the miscellaneous update, we covered a lot of just, stuff that is close to our scene. And, with Mike's always telling me, man, you got to quit covering so much, but when the Ruben's on, I'm back in the catbird seat. Like, I can do what I want, right? So, but this one was with heavy hearts as well, dude. I know you love some ZZ Top, my brother, right?
Oh, man. You know what? I was in the shop the other day, and we're working, and someone brought it up, and I was like, holy hell. That one kind of hit from left field. It was like something you just didn't expect.
Yeah, and so
I
Dusty Hill passed away, yeah.
Yeah. It was like, what, he didn't even expect that. And it was like from a hip injury or something like that, something crazy like that,
Yeah, and, I've read some things, and, obviously, he had some ailments. And, I didn't know him. I know Sketchy had reached out to me because I think that they were maybe going to be doing some work for the family with the house and stuff, before all this transpired. But the thing that comes to mind for me, and I knew this would be a topic that you and I could bounce off each other, is when you think back to that era, and someone reminded me, I think they said that they were on stage at Woodstock, right? Which I did, off the top of my head, I did not know that. And they formed around that era. So you think about, like, you know, let's say the 60s decades, the 70s, they were awesome. My dad had a couple of the vinyl albums. The 80s could be, you know, their biggest visual, right? Because, I mean, MTV, you know, 40 years ago this month, boom, launches. So that helped them visually. The 80s, the 90s, they did their thing. They were in Back to the Future 3. The 2000s is another decade. So we're talking 5 decades here, right? I mean, if you count 69. And then you go the 2010s, that's the 6th decade. And then you go the 7th decade is the 2020s, right? So, again, not the whole 10-year span, but you think about the relevancy in 7 separate decades, and you just go, dude, that's some fucking rock and roll, man.
Right, and they were still performing, and they were still drawing crowds in.
They were.
Wherever they went.
And what was your take, like, when you think back to the 80s and the couple of videos that come to mind? I mean, I'm already hearing the guitar riff in my head. When you think of those videos, the popularity of them in the cars and stuff, I mean, was there anything cooler in that day and age?
No, there wasn't. I mean, it was. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, you know, of course, it was. Anytime you turned on MTV in the 80s, you know, and you heard, you know, the guitar riff, and you automatically saw the car, or you heard it on the radio, the first thing that popped in your head was that coupe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just, that was like the first thing that hit you. But, you know, it's kind of, I don't know, man. It just, again, to be relevant through that whole career, you know, of their career, you know, to be, you know, to still draw in the crowds and stuff, you know, it's, man.
Yeah, and I use the Google app on the iPhone, so, like, a lot of the stuff that I search is always curated back up to, like, you know, stories that I might like, and over the past few years, I've kind of really started diving into ZZ Top, because, you know, I found an album my dad had, which was, I think, their, quote, first album is the title of it. And then, you know, I always loved it because of the Back to the Future stuff, and then the 80s, of course. But one of the sites I think it always directs me to, there's a couple that pop up in my feed a lot, but one of them is ultimateclassicrock.com. And just in the last day, Dusty Hill's widow thanks fans for outpouring of love. Charlene McCrory, I believe is how you say it, it's McCrory, McCrory. The widow of the ZZ Top bassist Dusty Hill has broken her silence in a letter posted on Facebook. She thanked, quote, fans, colleagues, and friends for the overwhelming outpouring of love. She says she went on to describe Hill as, quote, the kindest, most gentle, and caring man a woman could ever hope to find in a lifetime. Many don't believe in fairy tale marriages, but Dusty and I truly lived one, end quote. And I even read a thing. It took me about, I don't know, I read slow, I guess, like 15, 20 minutes, and I read, and it might have been on the site, I can't remember, but it was a breakdown of all of their albums. And one of them, I think it might have been one of their first two, it's not even on Spotify, but when you look at the amount of music they had, dude, it was a lot.
Yeah, they have a pretty wide catalog.
Yeah, and think about this, Billy Gibbons, I remember like in the early 2000s when all these TV shows were taking off, like you and I even talked about the one that was called, was it called Rides back in the day? That was like one of the first, you know, kind of really starting to delve into that whole hot rod stuff. But Billy Gibbons, right, he was tied in with, not Troy Trapana, but the other guy that was at SoCal Speed Shop for so long, Jimmy Shine.
Jimmy Shine, yeah.
Yeah, so he was kind of tied in on that, but then, you know, he had just a love for hot rods, dude. And, of course, Billy Gibbons, obviously still going strong, and you know, let's hope that he stays around a long time. But the show must go on, and I think with some of the challenges that Dusty had, you know, there was even different quotes by him telling, hey, man, just keep playing, bring in the other guy. But the other day, I think they had their first show, and I saw a photo where, like, they put a hat on top of the microphone. And it's probably hard to go on after all those years of being together.
There's actually a video that I shared where it's either the bass player, that the replacement bass player, or the roadie or someone went and actually put his hat on a mic stand.
Wow.
yeah, that's where that picture came from, and what a touching tribute,
Yep. Yeah, and it just goes to show you that, I mean, we all know, unfortunately, the one thing most of us don't like to talk about is we all know that there's a end to this little, this short time span in this whole universe that we have here. But we often talk about, and Mike and I will reinforce it. Do what you love, have fun, get out there. We've tried to send the message recently. Hey, man, bury the beefs. Slap hands with someone maybe that you didn't get along with or that you had a feud with or whatever. Just get over it. Because at the end of the day, these guys played for a long time, right? 50 years or so. And you just kind of look at it and go, man, now it's over. As far as, the band's going to go on, right? They've got the replacement guy, which I think is he was like a sound engineer or something, that he's been with them all that time.
Yeah, I think he's a bass tech or something.
Yeah. But it just kind of goes to show you, man, that it's like, look, life is short. Even he lived, I think it was 72. But I think about it all the time, man. I'm going to be 43 this year, dude. I got less than 30 years, and I'll be 72 years old, which is crazy to think, But I do try to think about things like that because I'm a timeline kind of guy. But I do try to think about that because I try to realize that, what, every single day that passes, it's an opportunity to make some magic, to go do what you love, to hang out, to build a relationship, and it's important shit that we do. So I don't know. I guess that's like an ODB live and uncut, but that's my story.
Right there, Jay. Right there, Jay. You hit it right on the money, man. All I'm going to add to that is, what, life is too short. You need to be happy. I
agree, and I thought you were going to say life is too short. You got to get in where you fit in on some too short stuff. Because I heard Chris Burns been texting me going, "Yo, hit Ruben up, tell him to quit freestyling over here, or drop a single, Ruben."
Oh, dude!
I heard you're writing some love songs now. No, you're ghostwriting for Usher.
If you're getting text from Chris, it's probably some trap music lyrics or something like that.
Dude, man. Yeah. Well, I know you probably, it's been a minute since we've had you on. I always appreciate you coming on. Man, anything else you wanted to share?
Yeah, you know what? Today, August 3rd, is Jacob's birthday, my son. Really quick, I just want to wish him a happy birthday. Jacob, I love you, dude. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, that's so awesome, dude. And he's 15 or 16?
He is 15 years old.
Yep.
And taller than me. Good boy. He's a good kid. I'm very proud of him. And I've recently had some challenges in my life, and I want to thank my friends, the people that have been there for me, and first and foremost, you, Jay. Thank you for your friendship. And you and I have spent many hours talking, and you checking up on me, and I value that. I value your friendship, so I appreciate that, buddy.
Thanks,
and
homie.
Chris Burns, Jen Frey, Christy Jones, thank you so much for your friendships. You guys mean the world to me. And, I know I'm probably missing a couple of people there, and my family, my sister, and Jacob, my son, my friends and family, you guys mean the world to me. But like I said, life is too short, and if you're not happy, then you need to do what makes you happy, because it's crap if you're not happy. But
real talk,
again,
man.
Thank you for having me on, buddy. It's been a blast. We got to do this again pretty soon.
Yeah, I agree, and I guess I'll end with, you got to be careful when you tell someone like Mike Murray to just do what you love, because then he'll start wanting to tell you some weird stuff, and I go, Mike, dude, I didn't say do what you love and tell me what you love to do. You fucking keep that shit to yourself, man. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the way you mean love. You know what I mean? There's many meanings of the word love.
Yeah, I was like, dude, Mike, so, I kind of wish I kind of wouldn't have met you, man. That's some weird shit.
Right? So there you got it.
No, but yeah, we like to joke around a lot. So, but it kind of brings some levity. I always say that word wrong. Some levity to the situation. But real talk, man. There's a lot of good people. Now, if we don't get a chance to link up with Pin, some of you guys know Pin Cushion, okay? He's been busy juggling the business, and, we weren't able to record last week. If we don't get that audio, then this one's going to run with Darrell, who you heard earlier, Mr. Darrell Poe from Down for Dennis, and then, of course, we'll have Matt Weathers, who was boots on the ground at Relaxin in the Northwest, The Awakening. We want to thank Scraping the Coast, Bayou Showdown, After Hours, and, of course, Orange Beach Invasion. Rest in peace to Greg Miller, the godfather of Custom Car Show Productions, and to all of his business partners and his family. We're going to be riding with you all, and we appreciate everything that you guys do for the scene. But Ruben, I think that's it. So can you give us a we at ya, man?
Airhead Nation, we at ya.
My brother, keep it stomped, and let's link up soon. We got to get you back on 250, you know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hey, of course, man, anytime.
All right, my brother. We're going to roll in Mr. Matt Weathers, dude, the crazy lunatic from the Pacific Northwest. Be good, Ruben.
Take care, bro.
Yo, so I mentioned we're going to roll in audio with Matt Weathers, man. We had a great time, but was not able to link up with Pin this week. Obviously, he's had a lot going on. We've been busy over here. They're leaving for Slamboree. So I want to remind everyone that's going to be on the road, that's listening to this, be safe going to Slamboree. I do hope to make it to that show sometime, and it might actually be next year. Do us a favor. If you got the homies and you guys are on the road, this is going to obviously batch over and post overnight on Friday. If you're on an iPhone, hit that share button, send it to the homies. If you're in a group text, be like, yo, check out the podcast that supports the scene. We're out there east to west. This is just one that we're not able to make it to. But again, be safe. Now, since we have a jam-packed episode, we said, hey, why not stomp the pedal a little bit more? You know how we do. And what I'm going to basically do is include some audio. I'm going to call Adam Tripp right now. Several episodes back, you may recall we heard from Adam because the Spark Show was coming up this weekend in Sevierville, Tennessee. And we had promised to have the big homie back on. We were up there the last 2 years, and we know we just really love what they're doing. Yo, as I mentioned, we got Mr. Adam Tripp, my friend, my brother. What's going down?
What's going on, Jay?
Not much. The Spark Show. I know you're super excited about it. You've got a cast of characters that help. I know Dizzy is one of the right-hand guys. Our brother, he couldn't make it. I mean, let's be honest, we didn't invite him for this one, because he's out hobnobbing on all kinds of podcasts and stuff, and, his head maybe just gets a little too big. He's been doing the memes and all that,
Well, he makes all the online stuff look easy, but honestly, he's sitting at home with like 17 computer screens. He's got like all these wild devices he's trying to make these memes with.
Oh, I bet he's got a bunch of devices he's trying to make memes with. But no, it's all good, man. That's our brother. But in all seriousness, the Spark Show, a lot of folks, we get a lot of downloads day one into the weekend, and we're basically looking at, I mentioned earlier with Ruben, it's going to be this coming weekend. And I want to remind people, it's in Sevierville, which if you can't spell it, it's okay. You go on Google Maps and you just say Sevierville, Tennessee. But it's literally kind of on the backside of Pigeon Forge, which everybody's heard of Pigeon Forge, right?
That's it. Right before you get into Pigeon Forge, just off exit 407, you get into Sevier County, and we're right there, right beside that Wilderness water park.
Hells yeah, and we're talking with Adam Tripp, and of course, Adam, you were on several episodes ago and kind of talked about some of the bigger stuff, but as we get closer to the event, we start getting down to the nitty-gritty. What are some of the kind of things that you would maybe want folks to know, like as far as the pre-registration? What if they haven't pre-registered when they get in? Are they expecting long lines? Because you guys seem pretty efficient overall.
I appreciate that. We definitely try to be organized, and we get compliments on that, and that's the whole crew working together to make it flow. But if you didn't pre-register, which, by the way, we had more than ever this year pre-register, so
great.
Big shout out to everybody that did. But you can register day of the show. Friday, we open up 9 a.m., so just regular full show at that time. And you can register at the gate, $40 for the weekend for your vehicle. $10 spectator fee for the weekend per person there, and kids are free. So, yeah, definitely come on out. You can do that right at the gate, and the ladies will take care of you.
And if they, pre-registered, obviously simple, but I love the fact you guys don't turn folks away if they're coming, with a good old green in hand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Cash money is accepted. Definitely the easiest way to do it, and we'll have change if you need it. But if you need to run a card, we can do that too.
Yeah, Mike's, gallivanting around. He's got his show coming up next January, Eastbound Get Down. But he keeps telling me, when you talk to Adam or Dizzy, you got to tell them, like, they got to start taking Bitcoin and all kinds of weird cryptocurrency. I was like, look, man, I don't think they're going to go that far. I think they've got it kind of down the way you guys. So if Mike tries to get you guys into cryptocurrency and stuff, watch out, because that could be to his benefit somehow. You know what I mean?
Listen, we can't do that eastbound, new age, crypto Florida stuff,
right.
Man. We're in the hills of Tennessee. We just take that up good old cash, okay?
Right. See, that's what I'm saying, dude. When I listen to the LCD podcast guys, man, those guys make me crack up. And, man, that whole region, some good people up there. I don't know. I'm not saying you claim them, you know what I'm saying? Because, those are some crazy boys.
We'll claim those guys. Those guys are coming out to support us, too, so they're all good.
Yeah, so I tell everyone, check out LCD Podcast. Love that show on however you consume podcasts. But a little plug out there to the big homies. But when you think about this event and, being there the last 2 years and seeing that you've got this awesome kind of showgrounds, right? What are you most excited about in terms of what's going to come? And I'm not going to let you cop out and just say the people, right? Because everyone's like, oh, the people, man, it's cool when they all come. But I know you're going to get to see some cool stuff. What is it that you're most excited about other than the people? Because that's always top.
Man, the people, absolutely. I agree. That it is getting to see everybody at the place that we present. But just kind of like you and I were talking, the Sevier County Fairgrounds should hold a special place in some of the older mini truckers that we've been around for a long time. So coming out to a showgrounds that's been done before. But man, having all the vendors, we have more vendors than ever this year. So everybody's going to get a little bit of something. We've got some amazing awards that we do. I know not everybody comes out for the awards, but we put a lot of effort into these, and we've got some custom painted awesomeness that you might just see on social media here soon. But we've got vendors, everything from a special cigar bar from Navarre, Florida, all the way to Mini Truckers Union, all the way to your boys at OLP slinging that awesome podcast gear.
Hells yeah. There's always a good mix at the event. Now, let's not forget, do you think there's going to be any tacos or whatever? Because, I've had some pretty good food at this show. Probably, up there with some of my favorite food at a show.
Are there going to be tacos? Come on. You know Malloy's Tacos has got you covered.
Man, dude, Malloy's Tacos are so good.
Got the spark plug. He's got his steak tacos, his chicken tacos. He's going to be firing it up. We've got some barbecue with Borgasm as a vendor. You guys have seen him at Mini Nats. He does some fire barbecue. We got peas nuts in the house. We're going to have some sweets for everybody. So you are not going to have to go anywhere for food. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah, and the good thing is, another thing I like what the aspect is, anybody that comes in as a spectator, the parking's so close. You park right there, I think on the outside of the fence, and then you come right through the gate, you get your armband or whatnot, and then you can gallivant around. It's kind of like this circle. But over the past couple years, I've seen so many people expand out over towards the fence, right? A lot of the no regrets and the aftermath, those kinfolk. And, it expands back pretty far. What are you thinking in terms of Friday night, right? So the festivities, are you guys going to be doing this Rock'em Sock'em cornhole deal?
Yeah, Friday night. So we're going to have the show from 9 to 5 on Friday, and then we're going to slowly transition that into just the pre-party. So we've got DJ Mays spinning the ones and twos. We're going to have Malloy's Tacos. He's going to be feeding everybody. Getting everybody fed for the night that's coming in, late Friday or there for the day. And we're going to have the cornhole tournament that your boy Don Dizzy Davis is going to head up with a custom award from Flop Shots for the winner of the cornhole tournament. So that will happen Friday night from 6 to 9. and then we'll shut down and do it again tomorrow the next day.
Dude, for any of the listeners out there, we talk about a lot of shows, but I'll tell you, they put a lot of effort, as Adam is talking about, into the event. There's a lot going on. It's that family atmosphere. Of course, DJ Mays, our big homie, the radio DJ to the scene. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but he's really doing a good job. He's going to play some great music. A lot of it is censored and good for the little kids' ears and all that stuff. Now they might be singing some young MC at the end of the night, but hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that as well. When you think of how far you guys have came, right? I'm going off memory. I want to say, don't hold me to it. Is it the 7th annual or 8th?
This is the 8th annual Spark Show. Yes, sir.
My head was on 7, so okay, the 8th annual. When you think about how far you've came, obviously you've got your significant others, right? Your wives, and then you've got a lot of cast and characters. Anyone you want to really kind of thank as far as really holding it down to get you guys where you're at for this 8th annual event?
Man, I do. I appreciate you bringing that up. Me and Dawn, we work hard on this, but we absolutely cannot do this without our friends and family. And like you said, this is a family event. We want everybody to come out and enjoy it just the same, everything from, small kids to grown adults. But, I want to give a shout out to Durkee, Derek Monroe, Tater. These guys help us huge. Dustin and Michelle Boone could not do that without them. Michelle's got her amazing games. You guys, you don't even want to know about. If you're on Twitch with DJ Mays, and you're going to know a little hint about some of the games coming up. But Michelle's got you covered there. We've got, of course, my even mom, my stepdad, my daughter, all of our families are involved with this in some form or fashion and making it work and go smoothly for you. So it definitely could not do without them.
Dude, I love hearing it. I want to give a huge shout out to Diggity Dom, which is DJ Mays' son. I know he's talking about coming off the top ropes on some guys that said, hey, it is a family event, Dom, gotta kind of hold it down. And then maybe when the festivities get going at night, we'll let them do I think Mike Murray always says a Money in the Bank type deal, right? The wrestling deal. But dude, we gotta keep it crazy. Now I know that the fires with the axes and all that stuff, some of that had to get. I guess the city found out. They listened to the podcast and they're like, hey, you can't do those kind of things. So it's kind of smart that you guys are just going to keep it mostly to something like a corn toss in that deal.
You wouldn't believe the political hierarchy that listens to the podcast, man. They're trying to shut you down. It's crazy.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I've been getting emails from all over Sevierville, and I was like, hey, guys, hey, come on, pipe it down. It was all Dizzy. That's the guy running the show, right?
That's it, man. I just put it all on him. It was that guy. You go over and find him.
Oh, yeah. Now, we can't not talk about someone like Graphic Disorder, right? You guys, I want to say a year ago you made this transition, and it seems like, listen, dude, I love the artwork, right? I don't have to sell that. You don't have to sell that to me, but the artwork, man, has been incorporated into some awards. Just talk to us a little bit about that awesome artwork and then the mascot, really, which is coming of age.
Absolutely. We kind of focus on our bears, for the Smoky Mountains and everything, which is going to be something you'll see in these awards that is used. We partnered up with Welch's Chop Shop to cut us out some amazing awards, and the paint on these things, it's not going to be matched. Y'all are going to want these awards. I know you say you come out just to support us, but you're going to want these awards. And, and that's what it's all about. We want to give back to those that have put tons of effort into their rides. But the artwork with Graphic Disorder, absolutely. We've got Ashley Wimmer's S10 on the main show artwork that is just killing it with the overhand toss from the cornhole there with Don's bear up front. And then you got Corey Floyd's beautiful OBS, Minty showing off there with Dustin and Michelle Boone's ride for the kind of second show. And we're going to have both those show shirts for sale, $25 a shirt. We're going to have metal artwork for sale, banners. We've got some one-off stickers. We have got you covered on anything you want from that beautiful artwork from Graphic Disorder.
I love seeing it, and I tell all the show promoters, listen, man, you get behind a great brand like Graphic Disorder, Eric, all of these different kind of characters that work there. great employees of Brandt's and Shelley's, and you obviously that's the springboard, right? Then you have all these awesome products, and people love it. I mean, we go to a show like Mini Nats, we go to a show like the Spark Show, and the artwork sells itself. You know, Brandt told me that a long time ago. He goes, listen, man, he goes, I know the artwork's not cheap, but you're not going to have any problem selling it, and it's one of those things you invest, and then boom, it comes back. Like the old saying, if you build it, they will come, from the famous baseball movie. Mike's probably never seen that one, though, but
no, Mike's not saying that.
Yeah, he doesn't know. I mean, he's still trying to Google what a cult classic is. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I mean, come on. Debbie Does Dallas wasn't. I think that was. Never mind. But in all seriousness, dude, the Spark Show, of course, Instagram. You and I know Dizzy helps a lot with some of the social stuffs. We saw Street Trucks. They gave some love. You're no stranger to that because of the fact that they had the show listed on the cover of the magazine, which I thought was good. Logan, Wade, good dude. Of course, Corey Ford will be out there as well. But I know you're excited, dude. And I know we just covered a lot of cool stuff. Before we roll into Matt Weathers from the Pacific Northwest, man, anything else that maybe we missed or that you wanted to make sure you got in here, Mr. Adam Tripp?
Man, I appreciate you saying that, at least about some of the photographers out there. You know, cannot forget to leave out Logan Wade, pulling in Street Trucks, Corey Floyd Photography, and then partnered up All Time Low with Rich and Michelle. Damian Davis is going to be on scene. Everybody that you want to take your pictures, my call, you name it, they're going to be at this show. So make sure your rides are clean and you are ready to go. And if not, we're going to have detailers on site, and we'll be able to keep those rides clean all weekend long.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioned Damien because I think we mentioned him earlier. Good dude. Like you said, ATL, man, I can't plug them enough, man. Please go out, atlmagazine.com, order an issue or subscription if you can. And do you happen to know if they'll be slanging merch and stuff? I know sometimes it depends, right, because they're always busy shooting. You know if they're going to be set up out there?
I don't believe All Time Low is set up selling gear on that, but definitely on-site shooting features and show coverage. Yes.
Perfect. atlmagazine.com. And then, of course, in your Instagram bio, the Spark Show, it'll kind of it'll bounce over to your website, which is it thesparkshow.com?
.bigcartel.com is the website, but definitely social media for everything up until the show. You're going to want to stay tuned.
Yeah, thesparkshow.bigcartel, as he said, .com. You got hotel info, contact info, that amazing artwork. Mr. Adam Tripp, dude, it's always a pleasure, my brother. We'll see you soon. Keep the pedal stomped. You and your team, salute, tip of the cap, you name it. You guys are keeping the scene alive, and I love what you're doing. And all I got to say is my name is ODB, and I approve this message.
We out ya.
Yo, as I mentioned, we're going to roll into the audio with Mr. Matt Weathers, and I would remind everyone that this podcast is brought to you by Custom Car Show Productions. Their next event is Bayou Showdown this coming November. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving, Slidell, Louisiana. Look up Bayou Showdown. Amazing awards, amazing vehicles, Slidell, Louisiana. But Mr. Matt Weathers, dude, my homie, the Pacific Northwest Connect, you and Craig Braid were holding it down for us. Boots on the ground, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
Dude, everything is good, man. Have you ever figured out how many miles you've went in a year? Because you gallivant more, possibly more than Biggity Mike the Mayor.
Well, when I grenaded the transmission in my in the old spawned out salmon last winter, I didn't think I had that many miles on it until I started looking at different paperwork that I had. And I'd put 97,000 miles on that truck in a year and a half. So crossing the country. Dude. So I guess I had a few miles on.
Yeah, I heard that, Ron at Hammered Weekend Wear, he was, he's trying to catch up. He told me he was going to try to put 100K, and I think he was on pace to do it. Of course, Mike Ruben and I, we talked earlier that he did have a couple hiccups along the way, which we obviously didn't want to happen. But man, dude, that's a lot of miles in a year.
Oh yeah, I'm not only did I wearing the truck out, I'm wearing the windshield out in it too. So
Yeah, you're like the one homie, was his name Sean, that went to Sean Cooley, I want to say. He went to all of the Forrest Gump locations in his. I heard, though, that you were going to run across the country and try to grow a beard like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Now, okay, the main reason we got you on here is obviously Relaxin in the Northwest, the Awakening. Now, we didn't make it up this year. Last year, unfortunately, was canceled. And we know Justin and Ron and all of the team up there at RA, they were kind of running things, but we wanted a different perspective. You know, it's like, hey, Matt, we know you were boots on the ground. How far are you from the show? How long did it take you to get there?
It's if traffic's good, which actually traffic wasn't too bad going down. It's 8 hours.
Yes,
solid 8 hours of driving.
Yeah, and I wanted people to kind of know that because, you know, you think Pacific Northwest, Washington, Oregon, boom, you're going to be right there in a hop, skip, and a jump. Obviously, kind of a good day's travel for you. When did you get into town, man?
Well, I got into town Thursday morning. I came in. I actually came down Wednesday. I was about an hour out of Medford there. I had some family stuff to take care of, and I did that, and then got up in the morning and came down and had a little bit of stuff to do in Medford there to do. And then I got over to the showgrounds just a little afternoon. And I guess that's when they were opening the gates up, was noon on Thursday. So
yeah, the intel that I have is when you showed up like Pee Wee Herman at the biker bar, and you just kicked the gates open. You go, dude, let the games commence, dude.
Pretty much. I was there and I rolled in and I got out and all of a sudden, all the RA guys were coming out to see that I was out there, and they were laughing at me. So,
oh yeah.
They didn't make fun of me. I guess I don't know.
So, what was the vibe like all year, right, or all weekend? Because obviously it was canceled last year. New location. We talked a lot about Medford, as you mentioned. What was that vibe like all weekend?
Oh, it was good. I mean, everybody was having a good time, and everybody was like really glad to get together and be able to see each other, and and which was cool. I mean, we had, everybody was out cruising. Well, people started cruising Thursday night and stuff, which I was really surprised of how many people were there Thursday, and with camps set up and the whole show, and just everything going on. You would think it was you'd think it was a Friday night, but people were coming in late Thursday night and stuff, and then Friday morning there was a lot of people coming in. All day Friday, a lot of people showed up too. There was a lot of people camping this year.
Yeah, which is good. And kind of Ron had covered how some of that had worked. Now, you had sent us a lot of photos, and so did, as I mentioned earlier, Craig did as well. Craig Braid, our homie. So you basically had Joey brings the Tacoma in, right? He's got that from Arizona. We saw him, of course, at Scrapin'. But also what was cool is, I don't know if you knew Jason Setterberg, but he recently passed away. Ruben and I talked about him. Yeah. So his rig was there, and then his homies came out to pay their tributes.
Yeah, JDT Trucking showed up, brought in all their rigs and stuff. And, they made, when they rolled in on, I guess it was Friday, they rolled in and they kind of had to do a loop because of the trucks being so big, and kind of went through all the camps and came around to park them at what would be the staging lanes for the drag strip. And I just happened to come in behind them on my bike, and I could see that there was a lot of emotions following them.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah, 100%, man. And rest in peace to him. Yeah. Now, I did see that, I believe his name is James Peak. Now, Craig does a great job. He knows a lot of these guys as you do, and he had given me a lot of this intel. But Floor Runner is the green Forerunner that was there. Floor Runner, just how it sounds. Seeing that, and some, I mean, dude, what a bright color green that is. I mean, that had to just stick right out at you, man.
It's an obnoxious green. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too, man. I mean, that says mini trucker, but here's the crazy thing. There's then you go right next door and there's like a white Mustang, dude. Did you think that Vanilla Ice had like rolled in with the 5.0 and the 89 Stang?
I was just like, right on, cool. Where'd that come from? But yeah, there was a real small club that had, I I can't think. I want to say a Samurai, but that's not what they are. The Toyota version of it, of the Samurai.
The Sidekick, was it?
Sidekick it was down on Dayton's and stuff. It was cool. They had a couple, nice little import lowriders on the Dayton's and stuff, which their stuff was really cool. There was, and I mean, start talking about some of the trucks that showed up. I think the guy's name's Cliff that brought out
Uncle Cliffy.
the yellow extended cab Toyota. I guess he's had it for like 20 years, and they spent the last month or so getting it ready for the show to bring it out. And that thing was really nice.
Yeah, dialing it in.
Yeah, finishing up, and then Bob Grant showed up, and I don't know if it's his, but he a little Toyota with the chop top on it and a tilt bed and stuff. And I kind of think that thing's been around for a while, but I mean, I don't remember.
Yeah. And I know Ron McInnes. I got a chance to meet him. One of the bearded brethren up there. He had the Mazda out there, and I always liked that thing, kind of that black and white look with a real clean wheel on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That was there. He was out doing a lot of cruising with that, him and his wife. And then, Chris, Billy Bob had the little D out there cruising it and stuff.
Yeah, Billy Bob, dude, he's gallivanting everywhere.
Oh yeah, he had kind of doing some shakedown runs with it around the track and stuff, or the facility, and came across a couple of little problems that he's trying to fix, and so he's planning on having it up here by my place. In not this weekend, next weekend for the Cruise to the Pines, Northwest's version of the Cruise to the Pines, that he wants to do that. And then Sean, I think is the guy's name, he had the chop top little Datsun pickup called Baby Hulk.
Yes.
Which that thing is it's got a lot of mods to it. And I mean, I've looked at it a few times, and I really spent some time looking at that thing, and there's just a lot of work in that thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just kind of a cool little truck.
Oh, so, yeah. I like that. Andrew Freaks of Nature Stretch, he had Toy Rover out there. And then there's a guy, I think he also owns, what Craig was telling me, is he owns that real clean S10 that was blue with kind of the green graphic on it, all painted dash. And I think on the dash it says dime a dozen. That's a really badass Mini.
Yeah, I think, okay, I know which one you're talking about now. I had to think about it for a minute.
But
yeah, there was a lot of nice trucks that showed up, and I will give hats off to JDT Trucking. Their trucks for something that's got to be ran every day and is worked, or they got some nice equipment, really nice for older trucks. And I was just they won have picked up a couple of awards, and they deserved everything they got. So.
Oh yeah. I know William Sparrow was there, which was cool because he's on our River Run shirt. Karen, the blue 4Runner, we've tagged the owner there. 88 to 98s. I mean, you name it. There was so much. Now, I know it's summer, but was Santa there or no?
Yeah, he made an appearance. He was there for the Friday night kickoff party with Jeff from Mini Garage and Chris with Billy Bob's podcast. They were handing out free pizza to Friday night, but boy, that was really a great idea until showed up with the pizza, because that's when the rain and the wind showed up, and basically nobody was in the mood for pizza because they were out trying to hold their tents down and keep everything dry.
Yeah,
because we had a little storm come in, and I went out and did a ride through. Well, our DJ was shut down because he was getting wet, so he was over shoving everything up underneath the stage covering and stuff, trying to dry out, keep his equipment dry and stuff. So he was shut down. So I took off, went for a ride on the bike to tell everybody we had pizza, and I'm riding through the camps, and everybody's just holding their tents down, trying to keep them from blowing off.
Yeah, I heard it was nuts, like you were saying, and it's kind of crazy how you go to a different city, different weekend, this and that, and sometimes you'll have good luck, you'll have bad luck, but the good thing is, I think overall, right, it was a success in terms of the weather overall. I think for the few days was good, and then it was at the drag strip. So, did you feel like it was 200 degrees?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty much over 100 degrees every day. I mean, I think Saturday it was like 110, right around in there.
Yep.
It was warm and not much of a breeze either until, in the early evening, the wind would kind of pick up and get a good breeze coming through there. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, even though there's no shade to be had, but bring your own. So.
Yeah, and now when I went up there last time, you had a bike or two. Were you gallivanting around on the bikes again?
Yeah, I acquired a tricycle here not too long ago.
Yeah,
it was kind of a funny deal because I was at Walmart doing something like I think Monday or it might have been Sunday night the week before the event, and I happened to walk over and I saw a cup holder that bolts to mounts to the handlebars, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have one of those. I gotta be able to carry a beverage, and so I bought that and got back and I pulled the trike out and decided I'd give it a once over because I really hadn't done anything with it since I brought it home, and did that. And I was sitting in the yard and I'm like, this thing needs ape hangers. So I was off to go find ape hangers, and I actually ended up in another bike shop that is kind of like Bicycle Haven up there in Pittsburgh, with a lot of old BMX bikes hanging from the ceiling and stuff, and just stuff. But everything is in boxes in the place, and you have to dig through stuff. And that was it. And actually, I talked with Chris Buchanan and Matt from Sitting Pretty about it, and they've been in there, and we were laughing about the way the place is. I mean, to get to the handlebars, I had to move tires, so I was like rifling through stuff. It was And so I found the tallest set of ape hangers that they had. Had to do that. So yeah, I was cruising around with some nice ape hangers. So now that kind of turned into a custom. I got some plans for that thing to ride around at shows with it and stuff. But I even got my cruiser fixed up for somebody else that was supposedly showing up down there that didn't. So they'd have a booth.
Yeah. I appreciate you always looking out, though, homie. But
all of my Florida buddies bailed on me. I'm not pulling Chuck Dog out only, but
yeah, no, I know. Let me ask you this: you are possibly, I heard, going to maybe crisscross all the way down the Florida man. Are you, speaking of Florida man, are you going to try to come down here and become a hashtag like Florida man? Because Florida man is like a crazy, almost like a Sasquatch type deal, right? Florida man is like taking over it, like that hashtag is taking on a meaning of its own.
I know. And it's actually, when I was down there, 3 years ago, the first time I came down for Slam Fest, and Jamel took me down, and he told me we went down actually to the Union Hall. I wanted to go down there and get some merchandise from him and stuff. And we went down, and he was like, we got to get out of here. He goes, every story you hear about Florida man, this is where it happens, right here. And I don't even know what is that, Boca Raton or whatever that area is down in there.
Yeah, but that's a nicer area. There's a lot more kind of white trash deals around, but I mean, that's more of a nicer one.
I don't think that it's Boca Raton, actually, in reality. I don't remember what the name of it is now. That area is called. I should look it up. But, yeah, so the Florida man, yeah, that's actually, we have a radio station here that they always have, once a week, they do a story on Florida man, and it's the latest and greatest.
Yeah, so there's a rumor that if you come down here, we're going to have to give you one of the Florida Idiot stickers. I'll get you one, and that you're going to maybe have to do something to, go viral like the Florida man. Like, maybe you'll have to have, I don't know, the Santa suit on or do something, dude. You know what I mean? And if nobody knows what we're talking about, go on social media like Twitter or Facebook and just type in 2 words, Florida man. Now, there is, of course, a hashtag.
Or you can even just Google your birth date and followed by Florida man and see what kind of a crazy news article comes up. You might get 2.
Right. So get this. This is why I bring it up. The other day, can't make this shit up. A jaguar, I guess, depending on how much blue blood you got in you. Do you say a jaguar or a jaguar? Okay, I'm talking about the animal. Okay, not Mike Murray, but the jaguar, whatever, at a Florida zoo injures a man after. You ready for this, Matt? He climbed over a barrier and moved too close to the animal's enclosure. Okay. And it goes on to say, this is an NBC News. I just Googled it. It says a 12-year-old big cat swiped at a man after he taunted the animal and reached his hand through the fence, a Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens official said. I mean, dude, do you really think people are getting stupider as time goes on? I mean, I almost think like Idiocracy, one of my favorite movies, I think it's coming true in front of our eyes.
It's hard to say. I mean, when I was down in that part of the country, over 30 years ago, I was working for a company and I did a lot of traveling. And I was convinced there that the majority of the people in the northern Florida area, that their brain has just gotten too much sun, man.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, is there a rap sheet we don't know about back in the day, like where you could have been the original Florida man? I mean, we don't know.
Possibly. I know. It's funny, though, because whenever I get down in that part of the country, because I spent so much time there, if I meet somebody and they're in their 30s, I ask them if they know their dad. So,
Yeah, well, all of our family up at Relaxin in the Northwest, The Awakening, they're going to be listening to this going, damn, dude, can't they talk about the show more? I mean, how did Florida Man get involved? I mean, maybe you guys are going to have to start Oregon Man up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there could be that guy, too. I don't think, though, he's on the news as much, so...
Yeah, because the word that I've heard on the street is that Hank Norris is a descendant of the original Oregon Man. Like, these guys came in on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah. I haven't heard the whole story, but I from my understanding, he's the reason that Ron spent the weekend in Salt Lake was Hank did something he shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, because aren't there, like, the people there that have... I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff on the podcast, but they have like multiple wives and stuff. And supposedly Hank is trying to like basically in how do you say it? Like embody or like he's trying to like get into those circles. You know what I mean? He watched that show, Rest in Peace, Bill Paxton, Big Love on HBO. And he thought like if he could somehow get entangled in one of those deals that his life would just be transformed. And I don't know that I disagree. I mean, it could just be perfect.
What is that? Polygamy? Yeah, polygamy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Hank is rewriting the books of like of doing shit. So we'll have to see, man.
Yeah. I think it'd be all great until you had to deal with the bullshit that goes with it. So.
Yeah, man. Most of us can only handle one deal at a time. You know what I mean? So it's but Hank, let's be true. Like Ron has told me, he's like, dude, this guy. He'll float into town, and man, he comes in like a stallion, dude. Like he's willing to, go the extra mile. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that means, but we might as well talk back about Relaxin in the Northwest, The Awakening. What was your favorite aspect of the entire weekend, other than the tents almost blowing over?
Well, like I said, it was hot. I mean, weather-wise, it was good. I mean, other than a little bit of a freak storm, we got a little bit of a freak storm Thursday night, but it wasn't too bad. Then Friday night with the thunder and lightning. Saturday it was hot. A lot of good trucks there and stuff. A lot of good people from we had people out of Arizona, Southern California, Idaho. Washington, of course, and people from all over Oregon too. So I mean, there was a lot of people that did a lot of traveling to get there. I mean, it's that's one thing that here in the Northwest, far as our like the truck club shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's basically you more or less have to travel almost 8 hours to get to a show.
Welcome to my world. Yeah. We got to go like 3.5, 4-ish to get out of the state. Now that's where I'm at. Now Mike's got to get on Gallivant more, but yeah. And then if we got to go to the Panhandle, we got to go up and over. But that's the tough thing. Like I think one of the most centrally located places. We never really talk about this. Is almost like the Tennessee area, maybe some of the Midwest, because like you'll hear a guy like DJ Mays from DJ Mays Radio. He'll say, "Yo,
Yeah.
I'm going to a show," and I'll be like, "Well, how long you drive?" He's like, 4 hours." I'm like, "Dude, time out. Like, let's stop talking." But no, seriously, some people live where they can bounce 4 east, west, north, south, and then boom, they're at a show. Where you guys are at, or where you're at, and where I'm at, it's not as easy, you know.
No, into the world, you know. You're more or less, I mean, about as far away from me as you possibly can get and say in the continental United States, you know. So I understand where you're out there.
Now, the one thing I'll warn you is, you know, we're using the hashtag SlamFest30 to represent SlamFest 30th coming this October 9th and 10th, right, I believe. It's going to be here in sunny Tampa, Florida. You can go to minimadness.com. You can pre-register, save 20. But that's the one show I warn people, don't ask me. You know, like when you're on a show and you casually you ask your buddy, man, how long was the drive, right? And they're like, 4 or 5 hours, 10 hours, whatever. Do not ask me how far the drive is when you're at SlamFest, okay? Because it's going to really tick you off. Because it's the closest show to me, you know? So I always feel bad when somebody's like, yo, so how long was the drive for you? I kind of have to throw like a handicap deal in there. And instead of saying 20 minutes, I usually go, like, I don't know, 20 hours, you know? They're like, oh, you're going to get the long distance. Yeah, I'm going to get that. But I just feel bad telling them that it's only 20 minutes from my house, man.
Well, I'm just like 42 hours from it, and I'm planning on making that drive down this fall. So,
dude,
I actually kind of thinking what I'm going to do is leave like a few days before the weekend prior and go down to Laughlin, Nevada, and do the Forbidden Fantasy Auto Mixer, and then cruise from there over to the show, over to Tampa. So
nice.
That's what my plan is.
See, if I was you, I'd be going to like Seattle Airport, okay, and getting on. Have you heard of these things? Like they have rubber wheels, but they somehow, if they go quick enough, they actually like elevate. And they can actually they're like a bird.
I tried that one time. That 5 hours was pretty boring, so I decided that I would just drive.
Oh yeah. Well, we're talking to Matt Weathers here, and again, we mentioned him earlier. You can type in on Instagram PIG. It's PigRig67. Dude, Craig Braid was up there holding it down with his Mini. What was your favorite vehicle of that, maybe that stuck out, that's still kind of etched in your mind from this year's Relaxin in the Northwest, the Awakening?
Oh man, I mean, I enjoy seeing them all, and I my favorite. Oh man,
we won't hold you to it, man.
That puts me on the spot there.
I know. Listen, we all know it's Billy Bob's Little D. We know you love looking at that. Well, I don't want to say it that way.
I really do like that little truck. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is over the top nice. I mean, I don't know if it's just that the look of it has that look of being restored, or what, but it just, I do like that truck, and it's just got a lot of class to it. It's gonna be a timeless truck too. I mean,
oh yeah, it's definitely classic, but. It's always good syncing up with you, Matt. We got a lot of good kinfolk up there in that area, and I really wish I could have made it this year, trying to balance everything. But it's great to see that the RA family up there kept the pedal stomped. There's a lot of good people from that region, and I'm just looking forward to getting back to a few more shows, maybe this year, maybe hitting SEMA. But regardless, in October we're going to see at SlamFest. I'd encourage people. If you're ever going to come to Florida for a show, this is the year. I mean, SlamFest 30 is only going to happen once. You thought 25 was huge. I mean, 30, I'm hearing they're going to give away a truck. There's a raffle involved. There's a lot of stuff. But SlamFest 30 in my backyard, I've been going for 25 years straight. Doesn't make me feel any younger saying that, though, either, or Matt.
This would be my third year down there for it. But, yeah, the Relax show, I got hats off to the the whole Relax gang here in the Northwest, because they were kind of throwing a dodgeball there with having to change venues. Kind of about 4 months before the show, and they came through with getting their hands on the drag strip, which was way cool. I mean, it was cool to see Chad Pickering bring his Dodge Diesel out and lay down. I'm thinking he was real close to an 8-second pass in that in the quarter mile on there, which from a 4-wheel drive, that's not something you'd think you'd see. But they kind of changed a little bit they did the awards Saturday night, which was nice to let everybody get up early in the morning, which those of us that had big plans of doing that didn't, to beat traffic, to get out of there. But yeah, they did the awards Saturday night, which was nice. And they gave out actually a couple memorial awards that I hope that they keep doing, one was the Jason Soderberg Award that was given out by JDT Trucking. God, I can't even say that. They gave that out, and then they did a Cherish Rainwater Award, Memorial Award, which was another one that was pretty emotional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and rest in peace to her. And I'm very thankful that the stickers that were made, and Karen Moore, she had those at Lone Star Throwdown this year.
Yeah.
And
her and I, we kind of pasted them across the country as we came back across.
Yeah.
So, and actually, a few of them were showing up throughout the racetrack there too. I saw. So
yeah, that's good stuff, man. And it's we Ruben and I earlier this episode, we covered we're losing far too many folks, and we covered just on this episode 3 or 4 or 5 people that have passed away in the last month or so. Obviously, from RA and other clubs, and even some of the anniversaries like Bob on the Couch, and I know Jen Lacey just a month ago was the 2nd anniversary of her passing. But it is tough, and I'm just thankful, like I talked with Ruben earlier, that we have the platform, even though we kid around and we joke around, here and there, in all seriousness, there's a lot of people we lose in the scene, and we want to keep their spirits alive, and that's important for all of us.
Most definitely.
But Matt, it's always real, my friend, and I guess in closing, I would remind everyone, I didn't get a chance earlier to cover this, but Lone Star Throwdown, Mike, he out-memoried me on this one. He says that they always open it 6 months in advance on or right around 8/1, August 1st. So they did open the pre-registration. You can go to LoneStarThrowdown.com. The thing I would tell you is when I saw Lonnie or Radar post, they had blown through like 700 in the matter of a third of a day. So
I was thinking that I was going to pre-register, because I'm hoping that I have my truck that I've been working on for a little while, my COVID truck, I should say. I started working on it again.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'd bring it down there, but I haven't had a chance to even work on it since I've been back home from Pittsburgh. But what caught me off guard about it was Chris, Billy Bob there. He posted that his wife wants to debut their Astro van down there. And he said that they registered it. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of, puts me on the spot. Now I need to hurry up and get going on my truck.
Yeah, they're keeping the pedal stomped. And, LoneStarThrowdown.com, once you go there, you've, of course, got the timer. At the point of this recording, we've got 205 days, 9 hours, 50 minutes, and, 45 seconds. But if you click on register now, it's only $60, and you can't go wrong. Let's say a band is $20 to get in. I think it's 20-ish. You're looking at 20 on top of that, so you're going to get 2 bands and then a vehicle in. The cool thing is, too, you do have to agree that there's no transfers after February 1st of 2022, and that's midnight on that day. But you can email lstregistration@yahoo.com, and I'm just looking forward to this one. But Matt, like I said, it's always real, dude. We appreciate all the love that we get from the Pacific Northwest, including yourself and all the other good, fine folks, the ladies and gentlemen up there. And from Mike and I, Ruben, Josh, everybody that helps the podcast, DJ Mays, we certainly appreciate you taking the time, brother.
Not a problem, man. Well, I'm hoping that I get to make it down there for Slam Fest there at the 1st of October. Hopefully I'll be able to see Ruben the weekend prior. So
Absolutely.
Swing through Cave Creek there and ruffle his feathers for him. So
yeah, brother, real deal. Well, thanks again, man, for being boots on the ground. You and Craig Braid up there at Pacific Northwest, the Awakening, and stay safe, Matt. We're gonna roll into this weekend and get sideways.
Yeah, planning on it.
Love it, brother. We'll see you, man.
All right, thank you.
We got you.